Ladies and gentlemen, I am now at the conclusion of what is very likely my last tour in your country. I have traveled from coast to coast and visited large numbers of cities and towns, great and small. If it should be my last visit, I shall regret it, as I have made in the course of my travels many valued friends. I have been impressed by the fortitude and the hopeful, constructive spirit with which your country is facing its share in the worldwide depression. Bad as things may be with you, they are not so bad as they are in my own country, not so bad as they are in Germany. Your country, it seems to me, is being stimulated by these difficult times to a constructive effort of thought and to the creation of a greater unity in our civilization than it has hitherto had. I believe that it is by that road that our civilization must travel if we are not to have a repetition, perhaps in an even aggravated form, of the troubles from which the world is suffering at the present time. If these hard times do lead, as I fully believe they will, to such a constructive and unifying effort, the sufferings which many are enduring now will not have been endured in vain. There will emerge, as I hope and as I believe, a world with greater security, with greater hope, a world in which men will profit by the inventions of science, and not, as too often happens now, suffer through what ought to be a means of human happiness. If this should occur, then I think we may hope that future generations will enjoy the fruits of our thought and our effort. It is this hope, above all, that should buoy us up in the difficult period through which we are passing. Mr.
All right, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am now at the end of what is likely to be my last tour in your country. I have traveled from coast to coast and visited many cities and towns, great and small. In the course of my journeys, I have acquired in your country many valued friends. If this should indeed prove to be my last tour, I shall for that reason regret it. I have been impressed by the fortitude and the constructive effort with which your country is facing the bad times with which, in common with the rest of the world, you have been afflicted. Times, it is true, are not quite so bad in America as they are in my own country, not quite so bad as in Germany. But they are bad enough to call for considerable heroism in the endurance of altered circumstances on the part of many. I see in these difficult times in your country an effort to think constructively, an effort to create some kind of organization throughout the world, out of which shall come a system capable of preventing a repetition, perhaps on an even larger scale, of the troubles from which we are suffering at this time. If that should occur, if indeed constructive thought and patient effort should unify the life of the world, then the troubles that we are enduring will not have been endured in vain. I believe and I hope that this will be the case. I believe and I hope that mankind face a happier future, that the inventions which we owe to science will become, at no distant date, a source of that general happiness which they ought to bestow, and which at present they too frequently do not. It is in this hope that I leave your country to return to my own, whose problems are even more difficult than those that confront you. I believe and I hope that mankind will be happier in the future than they have been in the past. And on the road to this happiness, it is your country above all that must take the lead.